Like Purdue, it's just an example. Purdue losing to Fresno State is okay. We still win the Big Ten West. Me,
Billy Napier gets fired. I'm just kidding.
hey, really the best time of the year. I will be seated watching the Red Zone for 7 hours on Sunday. What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to a new episode of Backyard Banter. My name is Jonathan Shields, and I'm here with James Keck and Tanner Sterry. How you guys doing today?
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
I'm doing quite fine.
Tough weekend for Tanner. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Personally, first, we'd like to thank all of you guys for showing love on the last video. One of our YouTube shorts got over 10,000 views, so we've gained over 15 to 20 subscribers since the last one, right in that area. So just thank you for all the love and support. And we're gonna get right into it with college football, and we'll get into it with my team. I said last week going into it, Florida needs to win this game to stay relevant. And not only did they win, besides the first drive of the game, they really dominated it. And they dominated the line of scrimmage. The way that Florida's offensive line was able to move Tennessee's defense line, Trevor Etienne, 172 yards, average 7.5 per carry. I know it's kind of bloated because he had that 62-yard run. Tennessee came into the game averaging more than 240 yards on the ground. Now, that's just the first two games. I know they didn't play anyone, but still, Florida held them to only 100 yards. And that wasn't because it was a blowout. It was on 30 carries. They averaged 3.3 yards per rush.
Yeah.
So it was just 9-day difference, and God, the swamp was rocking.
Yeah. Yeah, 92,000.
92,000 strong. Man.
They were like, I was listening to the radio actually because I wasn't able to watch some of the game, but I listened to the whole game. And they were talking about how well over sold out crowds. I'm like, that place is probably rocking. But I think you said it perfectly. The ability to run the ball on Saturday was what won them the game.
My exact quote from the last episode is, we've got to be able to run the ball and set up the play action for Mertz. Mertz was 19 to 24. Just efficient.
And they hadn't done it well until then,
exactly.
right? And that's
they did it against McNeese State. Whatever.
Yeah, but it's a mind blowing, it's a mind boggling state to go into, at home obviously, but you're playing a team that was ranked very high, right? And had put up some good numbers
in
stopping the run.
In some people's top 10.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and I'm okay with it. I mean, it is what it is. That's SEC football, right? At its finest, teams beat each other up, but. The thing is, when you look at the box score of this game, you don't understand that Florida dominated because, I'm pretty sure Tennessee had more total offense.
I wouldn't
Florida. I think that's a stat. They had more total offense, but the stats go to a couple things I wrote down. In terms of going for fourth down and then the interception, Tennessee turned the ball over 4 times. Right, they went for the ball. They went for fourth down 3 times, missed them all 3 of them. Florida only went for fourth down once and lost it. They had no other turnovers. That's huge, right? And then time of possession, Tennessee had the ball for 22 minutes. Florida had the ball for 37 minutes.
And in the
because
first half,
you could run the ball.
In the first half, it was even more drastic.
Yeah, so it's super. And then penalties. Tennessee was plagued by penalties. They had 2 times the amount as Florida. Florida looked really impressive, so I see the sweatshirt. I mean, you had to show off. Yeah. Tanner doesn't have any team, which is
you got anything from the Florida game, Tanner?
Not really. I was kind of thinking this weekend. I was like, if Georgia were to lose in the regular season, the SEC's in trouble.
Yeah,
they're in big
time trouble. SEC's already in trouble.
I mean
Arkansas just lost too. Bama looked really bad. But one more thing about Florida. I said this after the Utah game. Florida has dudes It was there the first week. You could see it. It was there, and it was very impressive. Shout out Billy Napier. I give him a lot of crap the first week. I still said I was a believer, but he really turned the ship in just 2 weeks, which is really impressive. And when I said it means more to the people down there, it does. You can just see. I mean, the swamp was going, man. I had people there saying on the interception that Milton threw was just like a punt, and it was the loudest I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just rocking. They were down 7-0. Some adversity, missed the kick. But, one more thing about Milton. Yeah, he had a fine stat line, had a few really impressive throws on the scene. His inability to throw on the run is going to really burden Tennessee moving forward.
Yep. You got a certain game you're thinking of, or just go highlights? I mean, I can go to the Florida State game.
I was thinking about the fight in the Tennessee.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, Buddy,
I don't know why
Buddy
you call it timeout with it. You squared
Buddy
up.
from the Gators literally thinks he's in the street and just
as he should.
tries to fight. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, it was.
What's going on?
Yeah, they all get suspended for the first half. I think it's time for us to say sorry to LSU because my God,
Yeah, we were wrong about.
they
Mississippi
took it
State.
to Mississippi State. I was most wrong.
I think I said LSU.
I was most wrong about LSU. I said they're going to finish unranked, and they still very well might.
I don't
But
think so.
Jaden Daniels, 425 total yards, 4 touchdowns. Neighbors, well over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was utter domination.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels missed 4 passes.
Yes, it was insane.
He was 30 for 34.
He was incredible.
Like, it's just, we talked about it before, they recruited dudes, right? And so they hadn't put it together. Again, and that's why when we talk about the playoff expanding, this is a great reason why. I'm not saying LSU is going to deserve to be in the playoff race, but when you play a team like Florida State in week 1 and you lose, you think, right now your season's over.
Yeah.
Right? LSU season was over after week 1.
Yeah.
Most likely, right? Because of the fact that you lost week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looked really good. And not only did they beat Mississippi State, but they beat the pound.
It wasn't even close.
And now LSU
41-17, is that right?
Yeah. LSU's schedule's still brutal.
Yeah.
You know, you still Ole Miss,
Yeah,
Alabama.
they haven't even gotten to it.
Yeah, so we'll see. My prediction could still be right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they look like the preseason top 5 team.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
One thing that I have written down is Alabama has a serious problem in its quarterback position, and right now, who is the SEC West favorite?
I don't know.
You can't really
Maybe
answer
LSU?
that. There's not.
I mean, but they have to
favorite.
go to Bama. But we saw Texas.
I just don't
win
know.
Bama.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
mean,
literally
it is wide.
they
open.
don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
and like a game that could decide it is like Ole Miss at Alabama,
Which
this
is
week.
this week.
Yes.
Ole Miss gets them at the perfect time.
Yes.
Ole Miss
Oh,
is not
yeah.
under the radar, but I mean,
'Cause
they
you
don't have
know-
any problems with their
The
quarterback.
thing about Bama is they're gonna figure it out.
Will
It's a
they?
matter-
though? I mean,
It's a matter of
I mean,
when. Is it gonna be week 10 or is it
this
gonna be
is
week
different.
4?
When was the last time you seen Alabama play 3
But
seconds?
that's what I mean though. But what I mean though is that they have the stars to figure it out, right? We knew it wasn't Tyler Buckner. I could have told you that.
He was
Right? I watched him at
5 of
South
14.
Bend.
in
Right?
the first half.
I could tell you he wasn't a
I don't know
SEC
why.
quarterback.
I mean, but the thing is, Jalen Milroe didn't even play, so maybe there's a suspension of some
Could be.
kind. I mean,
yeah.
No,
I mean, you have to. Then why did they put him back in?
because I mean, apparently they have that Brown or whatever guy that played. The other one that played.
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why.
And I mean, he did fine, but I mean, I don't know. I think
It's
they
an
go
issue.
back. I think they go back to Milroe.
My comment is Alabama wow sucks. Like
Yeah.
it's when you have a quarterback
I
issue.
put Alabama with a frowny face.
With a frowny face, I like it. But I mean, you look at the last 5 quarterbacks to come out of there. I mean, they've all been dogs.
Yeah.
And they've all been Heisman, candidates and all that. So it's weird, but they're gonna figure it out. I mean, they're gonna.
You would think so, but like, you guys remember Jake Coker? I think that was his name. That beat Clemson in the national championship back in 2015.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even have this problem with him.
Yeah.
And then who's the dude
He's
before
irrelevant.
him? Not Blake Sims. He plays for Nebraska. It was whatever. They've had just not the best quarterback play in the past, and they still have never looked this bad.
No, I
Trust
agree.
me, I know about USF. They play in my backyard. They have not been relevant since Quinn Flowers left. Like, they were terrible. They have a new head coach and whatever, but I mean, it was bad.
But they
But
barely beat them.
yeah, the thing that saved the SEC was Missouri. How about
Yeah.
that? I mean, we're hating on the atmosphere in Mizzou.
You
I
were.
got it. I was, and I still will.
Yeah.
But Carter texted me right after the game.
Yeah.
Like, look at that atmosphere.
Well,
I mean, 61-yard kick to end it,
61
man.
yard
That's
bomb.
epic.
But we were all confused by it, right? We all looked at that spread before the game. I don't remember what it was. It was
5
like,
and a half, I think. Maybe.
I don't even think it was that
4.5,
much.
4.5.
It was 5.5.
Was it 5.5? And I'm like, I thought Kansas State was overranked. 15's crazy in my opinion. But going to Mizzou puts up a fight. I mean, you look at last year when they played Georgia, almost beat them,
Yeah, but
right?
Luther Burden was a non-factor this year. Had 2 touchdowns over 100 yards. Last year's a non-factor. This year over 100 yards,
Yeah,
2
Mizzou looked
touchdowns.
pretty good.
But I wouldn't say Kansas State was overranked. I mean, they didn't lose that game. I mean, it was just a good football game.
It was a good.
And
it
they
was a
won
good
the Big
all-around.
12 last year, and they returned a lot of starters. So
Yeah.
Kansas State, I think they'll be fine. It's just, even though the SEC might be having a down year, it is still tough to go into an SEC stadium environment and win.
No doubt.
Even though Mizzou is not the top of the top. I mean, any place besides Vanderbilt, you're still going to get, one of those top 2
No
environments.
doubt. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I think one game we're missing out is the Colorado game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late night game. You had to stay up late
It's a
to
fun
watch
game,
it,
yeah,
but
fun
it was
game.
an incredible
Yeah.
football game. It was one of those games where you got Colorado State's best, right? And Colorado's probably not their best.
Yeah.
But it was good to see Colorado battle because
I mean, going 98 yards, man,
no
to
doubt.
tie the game.
No
I mean,
doubt.
That was impressive. Shooter Sanders is still. I mean, he's
a dog.
really impressive.
Yeah, he's really impressive.
And we don't know how long Travis Hunter's out for. Hopefully, just for the sake of the sport.
I think they said 3 weeks. I think he's out for Oregon and USC.
I hope he can play in one of those because he's so important in that.
Yeah. My only note on Colorado is that they will lose by 30 plus this week.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that they're going to lose, but
30 is a lot. Their offense is going to put up.
That's the thing.
Well, they lose by double figures.
When you look at games like this, especially in the Pac-12, because it's hard to beat teams by 30 in the Pac-12 because they all just score in abundance, right? And when they score, they do it a lot. Yeah. So, they're not going to put up anything less than 30 points against Oregon. And so that would then require Oregon to score 60.
Or, I mean, let's say it's like 50-20. I don't know.
Well, the early line is Oregon minus 21.
Are you serious?
And then
but here's the thing.
The over-under 71.
But it was 19.5 even with Travis Hunter in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt that.
So,
I mean, we'll see. It's the first real kind of test.
It's a true test, exactly.
So we'll see. Also, Georgia, South Carolina, that game was fun for a second. Yeah. But Georgia freaking turned it on in the second half. Down 17 their halftime.
Started playing like national champions.
They turned it on.
Yep.
I mean, it was really impressive. They literally flipped a switch.
Yeah.
They've kind of been coasting for a while. They got hit. I mean, they looked scary in the second half.
Yep.
And then Penn State kind of took care of business.
Yeah, took care of business.
I mean,
Illinois tried to maybe keep it tight in that first quarter, but it was Penn State football, right?
Yeah.
They're top 10 in the country for a reason. So Florida State, nobody's talking about it. They scooted by Boston College.
They struggled.
They should have lost too. I mean,
Boston College is awful.
If Boston College didn't have a program record 15 penalties.
NIU beat Boston College week 1.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's a really bad look.
31-29.
I mean, trust me, a noon kick going to Boston. I mean, I'm not overly worried about Florida State, but
I'm not worried about it. But they definitely.
I mean, they're the same team that just beat LSU, who beat LSU that blew out Mississippi State. But speaking of rankings, we'll go straight into our top 10, and I'll say now, I have Colorado at 10. Last week I have them at 11, so I dropped them out, but they're still there. I still love me some of the Buffaloes, but I have Washington at 10. I know some people are much higher on Washington than I am. I think they're really good, but we'll see. Them going to Michigan State like that, even though Michigan State sucks, going almost cross country like that, beating them by 41-7. It's impressive. So we'll go 10 through 8. I have 10 Washington and 9 Notre Dame. I mean, we'll see Notre Dame like Ohio State this weekend. One of the biggest games in college football so far, and then I have Oregon at 8.
Yeah, I got Penn State at 10. They took care of Illinois, but they didn't look that impressive. Oregon at 9, Washington at 8. So
at 10 I got Oregon, the Oregon Ducks. At 9 I got Notre Dame, and at 8 I got USC.
And then
I'm a believer in the Trojans.
Yeah, we'll see. 7 I have Penn State. I just think that they got a good defense.
Yeah,
I mean, their offense is going to be better than their defense. Good. 6, I have USC. They're off this week. We'll see. I don't have their schedule in front of me, but it's going to get tough sooner than later. And at 5, I have Ohio State. Again, same thing with the Notre Dame take. We'll see them this weekend. Struggled at first, turned it on in the 3rd and 4th quarter against Bowling Green. Who they play? Bowling Green or something.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. 7, Ohio State. Buckeyes. Again, they're starting to look a little better, but not great. 6, I got the Fighting Irish. Big week. That's all I gotta say.
They're gonna be going down.
Big week.
Down your rankings.
Big week. Notre Dame will win 10 plus. 10 plus against Ohio State. That's just what I'm gonna say. And Florida State is at 5.
I'm gonna go with Michigan at 7. I got Ohio State at 6 and Penn State at 5.
All right, going to the top 4. I still have Florida State at 4. I mean, every team gets a scare. They're just lucky that they won it.
Right.
So. At the end of the day, we're talking about college kids. Sometimes overlook
kids our age.
Kids our age.
Yeah.
So, I'm not overly worried. 3 out of Texas, again, looked really sluggish. Kind of turned it on in the 4th. God, Xavier Worthy still sort of legend.
So good.
I love me some Xavier Worthy.
Fast, dude.
And then 2, I have Michigan. Until someone kind of, I know they have a weak schedule, and I really hate on their schedule. I still hate on their schedule. Just play someone relevant. But until anyone gives them any side of push, I mean, there's no reason for me to believe that they're not the same team they were last year. Yeah. And the number 1 Georgia, the way they turned on in the last game really impressed me. They finally got, put up against the wall and they fought back.
Yeah, our top 4 are pretty much the same. I do have USC at 4, but then Texas 3, Michigan 2, Georgia 1. Like you said, when a team wins a national champion back-to-back years, right? It's like, can they do 3, right? Because the hardest thing in sports is to do it 3 times in a row, right? And they really turned it on.
Yeah.
And they look like a team that can win a national championship. So they're not going to move from that one spot till they lose. I mean, that's just for me.
Dropping down 3 spots from my number 1 last week, I have Florida State. Was not impressed with them. At least they got out with a win. Fortunate enough to get a win, as Johnny said. At 3, I got Georgia. Georgia played South Carolina. South Carolina's no slouch, not at all. They were down, 14-3 or something at half. Came back and won. Very impressive comeback for them. And I liked, finally, for the first time all year, I liked what I saw out of Georgia. At 2, I got Washington. I love the Huskies.
Let me ask you right now, if Georgia and Washington are on a neutral field right now, who wins?
Probably Washington.
That is absurd.
Washington's been more impressive. You want to know why? Because Washington has the Heisman as a
So you truly believe...
Penix is going to be the Heisman.
As of now,
I don't
he would
get
be the
that.
Heisman winner.
You truly believe...
Not even close.
You truly believe that they're playing... What's the middle of Washington and Georgia? They're playing in Nebraska right now. Just neutral field.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
And you truly think that Washington would beat Georgia?
Washington is the best player in college football.
You're not answering my question. You truly believe Washington would beat
That's
Georgia?
one guy.
I think Washington wins because they have the best player in college football right now.
But Georgia has the other 21 best.
That's his opinion. Well, who's your 1? Texas?
Texas.
Okay. Yeah.
Michael Penix Jr. is easily the Heisman as of right now.
Yeah, and then we'll see when he plays like a real team or a team that's...
Have you even seen the stats?
It's Audrey, running back, Notre Dame.
No, that's absurd.
Michael
Also
Penix's
absurd.
stats are unbelievable.
It is,
I'm not
but
disagreeing,
until they play a real team
Yeah,
where a
that's what I
team
mean.
whose head coach didn't get fired for sexually assaulting someone, then Mel Tucker got fired. I don't really want to talk about that. Just again, similar with the Wander Franco thing, just not
But it's
okay with
officially fired.
yeah, not okay with people in position of power just using that power to exploit
To
people
gain.
to
Yep.
gain. You know, it's really just
Bad news.
yes, disgusting. But
We can move on.
yeah, we'll move on to the NFL. Obviously, our teams played. My team came out on top. Again, Bucks are 2-0, but again, their tough games are coming up. Again, I still if they were going in I still wouldn't have them a contender in the NFC. And before you guys go, because Tanner's riled up,
I know what you say.
Fields, the O-line was bad. You can complain about the play calling, complain about all that. You can find 4 separate videos where Justin Fields has people wide open. And he either steps up and gets sacked, tries to run out of the pocket, and guess what? I told James this, Devin White runs a 4-3, and he goes and chases him down. I saw at least 3 quarterback design runs that got nothing. Nothing. Their running game was fine. There's just Justin Fields has to step up and make some throws. I mean, he had people wide open. You see all the memes right now of the people wide open. So, I mean, the play calling was pretty good on those, right? But really impressed with Baker so far. The thing with Baker coming in, we all knew this, he would turn the ball over. Through 2 games, no turnovers. Really big deal. Mike Evans looks like he wants to get paid. He looked really good also, had a touchdown. Bucks ran the ball a little better, but man, that Bucks defense can play, man. They're fast, they're athletic, they get after it, and yeah, they kind of gave the Bears hell. I'm impressed by the Bucks. I was hating on the Bucks, even though I did pick them to win. We'll see. They got the Eagles on Monday Night Football, then they play the Saints, so we'll see how good they really are coming up. But that defense travels, man. The Bucks defense is legit. I mean, their run defense, besides a few from the Bears, I mean, they really, yeah. But yeah, Tanner, you can go ahead.
Wow. All right, I'm going to start on the offensive side of the ball, focused on Luke Getsy. So, the Chicago Bears last year had the greatest rushing season that the NFL has seen in the last 20 years in terms of rush yards. Who was the catalyst of that? Justin Fields had the greatest quarterback rushing season in NFL history. In 2 weeks, the Bears have run 4 designed runs for Justin Fields.
Does that count for options? Like they did on the first play and he got 2 yards?
Yes. That is how the Bears responded to leading the NFL in rushing last year. And the best rusher on the team has 4 designed runs in 2 weeks. That is otherworldly ridiculous. That is just stupid. That is so stupid.
Because he tries to run on every single pass.
The Bears had 16 rushes for 67 yards. That's that after having the greatest rushing season in 20 years.
Okay, let me also say
No. I'm not done
Stop
going.
for 1 second.
I'm not done
They were
going.
down 20-10. going into the fourth quarter. You're not going to run the ball a bunch when that's.
They were up the whole first half. Could have ran it more than 16 times then.
First half.
So
in the first quarter for like 5 minutes.
Justin Fields was he had 35 drop back passing plays. Okay, he was under center for 2 of them. He clearly can't throw out of the shotgun. He clearly is not a pocket passer. So why is he only going under center twice out of 35 dropbacks? We're not rolling him out. We're not designing anything that plays to his strengths. That's kind of embarrassing on the offensive coordinator's part. I'm just going to tell you, so that pick 6 there. The Bears started this drive at their own 7-yard line, 2:18 to go. They ran a halfback screen, right? And due to the Bucs being offsides, it was now 1st and 5. They ran it again out of the same exact formation. And then there was a holding or something. And they ran it for a 3rd straight time out of the same formation. The same play 3 times in a row. You want to know what Matt Eberflus said about the play call this morning? I thought it was a really good play call and we didn't execute. That's what he said. You want to know what Levante David said? You want to know what Levante David said today? They ran a screen, same formation, everyone knew it was coming. And the Bears head coach said that was a good play call. Matt Eberflus, by the way, here's
trained to answer questions. Like
here's his resume: 3-16 as a head coach in 2 years. It's his defensive. It's his defensive scheme we are running, and he called the plays this week. Here was the Bucs on 3rd down passing, with him calling the plays. 20 for 23. That's
we were missing our entire.
I don't care. 87% completion, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, 8 receptions of more than 15 yards, and a 157.3 passer rating. Matt Eberflus, good job, man.
We were missing half of our second.
So on the 3rd and 13 that Mike Evans got the touchdown, Matt Eberflus called the perfect defense for it. Your corner, because your whole secondary was out, did not perform. He was caught looking in the backfield, and he went right by him.
He actually got pushed out of the way, and it was a ridiculous no call.
On the touchdown? No, he didn't.
We'll put the clip
on the
there.
clip for the touchdown.
And I want everybody to
gotta go find it.
It was.
No, he didn't. Mike Evans shoved him on a different one.
Like he was extended. Let's see. There's 13 going down the field, similar to what we saw earlier, right? Going to act like you're going deep.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe we're. Something from one angle it looks bad, from the other angle it looks subtle.
It was awesome. It was a blatant.
Yeah, Sean, you better get in the freaking gym then.
I was nervous about this, guys, because we're not here to argue.
We're not here to argue, and Terry brings up a lot of valid points.
Oh no, I forgot one more quote. Sorry, this is by Rex Ryan this morning. Rex Ryan.
Okay.
Justin Fields is a special talent, but it looks like the Bears coaches are trying to make him a pocket passer, and every NFL defensive coordinator is saying thank you for not rolling him out of the pocket.
You can be a special talent, but you were a quarterback in the NFL. There were some of the throws that he missed were appalling. I mean, you have to admit that. He's in the pocket, and he has people wide open, and then he runs up and gets sacked.
Yeah, it's not a strength. I'm sorry.
It's just not his strength as a quarterback to stand in the pocket and throw.
It's
not Lamar's strength, but Lamar can do it. Justin Fields can't even do it at an NFL average level, which is what he needs.
It is appalling that Justin Fields can't get the play calls that are around his
but
strength.
there were some times when you have someone wide open in the end zone and multiple plays wide open throughout the game, you can't step up and get sacked or scramble and get sacked. I mean, there has to be a time where you need to be at least average. Lamar Jackson is just as fast as Justin Fields, and he was made at the time the richest player ever because he's above average. He can stand in the pocket and throw it down the seam. Justin Fields' inability to do that right now is worse than any of the play calling. The play calling sucked. Calling three straight screens never should be okay. But Justin Fields' inability to be average. You can be the best athlete all you want. Your inability to be an average quarterback in the pocket will forever hurt the Chicago Bears until he improves. I mean, you're the Bears fan, am I wrong?
I'm tired of the Bears, if I'm being honest.
Am I wrong, James? Am I wrong?
No. I'm gonna make us move on, but it goes to this, okay? Teams in the NFL, they get a system, right? Packers, they have a system, a quarterback system, an offensive system, right? Do you guys think Jordan Love is a great quarterback?
He's incredibly average.
Right, maybe even below, right? But he went 14 for 25 had 150 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, right? Not terrible numbers. The 3 touchdowns is great, right? I would love for Justin Fields to throw for 3 touchdowns once. But it's because they have a good system. Do you think Brock Purdy is that good, or is he good under the 49ers system?
He's very good under the 49ers system.
Right, so that's the thing. The Bears need to fire everybody. They don't need to relocate, right? Relocating is fine if you want to go to Arlington Heights, right?
I wish they would just leave us entirely.
But that's the thing. I hate, everyone's doing it. I hate it, okay? Have the Bears not always sucked? Like, we've had that one year, 2018, wow, we flipped a coin and we got lucky, right? We aren't that good of a football franchise in our lifetime, right? We tried when we were, what, 5, 6 years old, right? Congratulations.
Remember the NFC Championship?
I don't remember it, right? So why all of a sudden are we that mad that we lost the first 2 games of the year? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
But we will post some of the memes.
I sent them to Tanner last night. I'm a believer in the memes. The issue is, quit selling on your team when you go 0-2.
Yeah.
Who cares? Because guess what? Are you not going to watch the game at 3:25 Eastern time
Oh, against the Chiefs.
against the Chiefs? Are you not going to watch it?
Finding everything I can to not have to watch.
Well, then you're not a fan. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit right there and I'm going to watch the game.
That's why we love to,
Like,
me and everyone else loves to come at you with that, because you're at the highest of the highs and then you're at the lowest of the lows.
And he's at the lowest.
And you're at the lowest of the lows.
Yeah,
Trust me, as a Bucs fan, I watched Jameis Winston throw 30 interceptions in a year, but I sat down and watched every single
and
game.
I'm
You guys
the same
never
thing.
went 3-14.
Oh, really? How about the year we got Jameis? We went 2-14. And I sat there and watched Mike Evans still catch 1,000 yards that year. One more note. Baker Mayfield on 3rd down this year passing, 20 of 23, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That is impressive. Baker Mayfield, I'm very impressed with you so far.
He's impressive.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We'll move on. Yeah, we'll get off the Bears and Bucs talk. But again, very impressed with the Bucs so far. We'll see big games coming up. We'll see. But yeah, you legitimately can't do better than 2-0. And you can't be worse than 0-2. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I want to go into the
2 ties would be worse.
No.
I would hate to tie.
Yeah, honestly. I want to talk about the Bengals and Ravens.
Do it.
Real quick. This is the best supporting cast Lamar's ever had, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Since he's been there.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
Dog.
Mark Andrews was back, looked
Yeah.
really good. Their run game, I know J.K. Dobbins probably out for the year, big blow for him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they just find
They filled the position.
people. They just get by committee. And Joe Burrow looks really limited. You can tell that calf is still bothering him, in my opinion. They have not gotten Jamar Chase involved enough. The defense is going to do so much. You need Joe Burrow to be a top 3 quarterback like he's been the past 2 years in order for them to be competitive.
That's the issue, right? So Jamar Chase getting involved, he got involved. 5 receptions for 30 yards. That's not the Jamar Chase they
that's not
need.
good enough.
5 receptions for Jamar Chase should be 90 yards.
Exactly.
At
I mean,
least.
I think T. Higgins had 5 for 66.
Exactly.
I mean, at least.
It's something, right? But Joe Burrow went 27 for 41.
It's not good enough.
Not good enough.
And his first game wasn't good enough.
But here's my other thing, and it goes back to maybe coaching. If his calf isn't 100% right, don't have him throw the ball 41 times. Joe Mixon is a serviceable running back.
They paid him
right?
a lot.
And I understand their offensive line isn't good enough for them to run the ball. You know, give Joe Mixon 20 carries or whatever. But if Joe Burrow, first of all, isn't fully healthy, he's only thrown for 220 yards. He looked awful week 1. He did not look good then.
Yeah.
You can lose at home to the Ravens because I think the Ravens are a very solid team.
They're good.
But the Bengals didn't look to even have a slightest chance at winning that football game.
Well, my take on the Bengals is we knew coming in to this season that there would be an AFC team that misses out in the playoffs that really shouldn't. As of now, it's got to be the Bengals.
Oh, gotta be, yeah.
I mean, these are, I think, you don't want to overreact this early in the season, but these are really big concerns because you look at how good the AFC is, and then you look at their 2 losses. They're 2 divisional opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are 2 divisional games, so now you're thinking, like, it's probably going to be hard to win that division now with those 2 division losses. And now that puts you in and probably a wild card scenario. And
It's tough in the AFC.
at worst you can do to make the wild card in the AFC is go 10-5 the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's
Well,
tough.
the thing is,
and that's going to be tough.
Tough in the AFC.
That's going to be tough.
That's a very good point. Also, the Chargers, another playoff team from last year.
Yeah.
0-2. I thought they lost a must-win
Well,
game.
and that's the thing. Next week, right, the Vikings and the
Chargers
Chargers
play, which is
So-
essentially an elimination game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're gonna have one of those two teams that's gonna start 0-3.
Yeah, which is
crazy, right?
I mean, half the playoff teams from one year don't make it the next year. So like that's what makes the NFL so good. That has been a back-to-back championship since the very start of the Patriots dynasty, right? But the Bengals started 0-2 last year. I know they looked much better last year than they did this year, but I'm not ready to hit. Sorry, Bengals won't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I am very concerned about the Chargers, though. I mean, you got to win that game. Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback, it's just not for me personally.
No.
And I mean, I know it's in Tennessee, but you got to win that game.
He's a serviceable quarterback,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
you know you're gonna roll out there.
He's a bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, the Titans, which by the way, I'm not shocked. I actually picked the Titans to win that game in my weekly pick'em. Derrick Henry had 25 carries, so kind of to your point last week, only 15 touches.
How many yards?
I think he only had like 80, but still,
I
25 times hitting the defensive player.
I completely agree.
And that was the issue that I had with only one.
And James was completely right on that last week. I mean, you got it. I mean, he's top when he's at his best. No one's really better.
Henry,
The 49ers again, man. Christian McCaffrey's having just a type year.
So I'm just going to relive the moment yesterday. Me and Tanner are sitting here. I just got back from the weekend or whatever, and the Rams and the Niners are on. He's like, man, I'm so happy because my one take's going to be right. The Rams are going to beat the Niners. Sure enough, the Rams don't score again since he makes that statement. And the Niners just cruise past the Rams. Like,
the Rams look good in the first half.
They did.
I think the Rams are better than people think. That's just part of that pick there.
Yeah.
And they're without Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, which is big. But the Puka dude,
Puka Nuka.
He's awesome.
And I picked him up in fantasy.
So did
Let's
I.
go. 30 points. Come on.
But yeah, Chiefs, Jags.
Hey, when you make a take, you can eat it, right? And I can admit it.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here
too.
because, again, this goes back to right now in the NFL right now. I don't want to say it again.
He's not the second best quarterback. He's not.
But right now, it's not like there's any other great quarterback play. Is Joe Burrow playing well?
You said
Is Josh Allen playing well?
I would take Josh Allen over Trevor Lawrence.
Again, I'm not saying Trevor
He's
Lawrence is clearly
not. But
like Patrick Mahomes is clearly number one.
Are they close?
Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow,
They're all in that.
Justin Herbert. They're all in that. They're all in that bubble.
Yeah, sure.
And so I was making the statement, Trevor Lawrence, in hopes that he would just play well
At
against
least
the
he just
Chiefs.
scored a touchdown.
He could have at least scored a touchdown.
But Chris Jones coming back made all the difference.
Yeah, comes in, gets a half. A sack.
I mean, the pressure was just more evident. And also, how about the Commanders, man? 2-0.
Yeah.
Somehow the Broncos suck again.
How do you get that
Hail Mary?
touchdown and then not get the
The
2
Hail
points?
Mary was crazy.
Yeah.
Hail Mary was crazy.
You properly execute one of the hardest plays in football, and then you can't score.
The hardest play.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all luck.
He threw it from his own 40.
Yeah, it's all luck.
Yeah. How about if the Giants would have lost, man?
How about the Falcons?
Falcons 2-0. That's a big one.
I got two games that I'd like to talk about. Another upset pick that I didn't say on there, but I did pick in the pick'em on ESPN was the Seahawks to beat the Lions, and they went in and beat them. And then I would like to bring up the Miami Dolphins because I have them as my third best team in the NFL right now. And I think Tua, and you're talking about Trevor Lawrence, I think Tua's a top 5 quarterback in the league. If he didn't have this supporting cast, this wouldn't even be a thing. But I think you look at that supporting cast, like it's going to be hard to imagine Tua not being good this year.
No, it is top 5.
They have everything.
Top 5 would mean Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Are you saying Tua?
I would have Tua ahead of Burrow and Allen. I would have Jalen Hurts in there.
Hurts.
I mean, Hurts was runner-up to MVP last year.
I think Lamar's better than him still. I mean, there's still...
The thing about it is, and we were talking about it again last night, the ability for their team to have Tyreek Hill go out and run 12 yards in 2 seconds, and not only just him, but Jalen Waddle can do that too.
Yeah. I mean,
their ability to just go create space and get open, nobody can guard them because they're too fast. And here's the thing, if one of them can be guarded, all three can't. Exactly. That's the thing. When Tyreek Hill's running wheel routes the entire game, but he's just getting open because he's so incredibly fast.
I mean, it's
all Tua has to do is say, go get the ball. I throw it in front of him.
Tua's accuracy was his one strength coming out of college. And with this offense, that is perfect.
It's carried over.
He's a perfect quarterback.
Exactly.
I hate to have a huge overreaction in week 2, but through 2 weeks, I firmly believe Tua can win the MVP this year.
I don't doubt that.
I really do.
If he stays on pace and the Dolphins go 13-4, remember they're not playing a first place schedule, right? So we'll see with that. The Cowboys, another team. I know they've been the loudly Jets got it on there, but the Jets defense is still. He has almost the best team in football. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna put the Niners just in front of them.
I would also put the Niners with 1 and 2. It's like we're
I
back
have
in the
Niners
90s.
second, so it's not
very
like,
close.
It's like we're back in the 90s again.
Yeah.
But as if any
Yeah,
of us
we were back there,
None of us
90s, living it up. Yeah.
But it's just, the Giants really impressed me. Their defense, man. I mean, I know you're going against Zach Wilson and who they play week 1, I already forgot. The
Giants.
The Giants, and you know how we feel about Daniel Jones. But shout out Daniel Jones, by the way.
26 for 37, 321 yards.
Yeah.
He got paid, right?
Yeah.
And he went out and showed that
he did
got
good.
paid.
But being down 28-7 against the Cardinals, going on the 4th is a bad.
Josh Dobbs.
God, Josh Dobbs, man.
I mean, watch out for him.
Twice.
Holy cow.
But yeah, Giants survived. Cowboys, really domination. It was, it's good to see.
They've let up 10 points in 2 games.
Just really
It's
impressive.
insane.
10
in
points
the
in
National Football League.
Any other games stand out to you guys?
Not really.
No, that was
I
pretty
think we
much
almost covered every game.
That was pretty much all I saw. I mean, I go back to the Packers. I talked about it a little bit with just Jordan Love. I think there's a big concern with Jordan Love. Packers fans, they're an incredible bunch of people, right? So all the Packers fans pregame, they're like, or like even during the game when they were winning and Jordan Love was actually looking decent, they're like, he's so him. They lose. What do? They post pictures of how every team in the division lost. They're like, it was a wash today. We'll be back next Sunday. Like, again, it is what it is. We'd probably do the same if we were in a position to do that. But I look back at what Green Bay has done as a system, head coach, ownership.
Yeah, they're the people
Of Green Bay. Jordan Love is a serviceable guy, right?
Yeah.
He can hit an open receiver.
We've said it so much. You need special.
But you need special. And
Even
Jordan
the
Love
first-
is not special.
Even in the first 2 weeks, Baker Mayfield's been special.
Yeah.
You see some of the sacks he got out of with the Bears. I mean,
He's
it's
moving around
different
like
arm angles.
I'm not
really
discrediting Baker, but I just think the Bears suck that badly.
Yeah, I mean, but
But
still,
Baker did-
but
Baker
still, you
looked
got a
well
300-pound guy
That-
coming at you. The sidearms they did is just.
And Baker looked well.
That one throw when he was
Yeah, it was really impressive. And Desmond Ridder, I mean, he's fine.
He's all right.
But man, Falcons 2-0 again. We've talked about it. NFC South, worst division in football. They got two 2-0 teams. And
Most overrated right now.
And we'll see. And we'll see. No, I'm not overrated them. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying. Well,
better than we thought.
they're putting their record looks like as a divisional record.
Yeah,
It looks way better
they
than
could have 3 2-0 teams after
It
that.
would
You
be
don't
great
need the
if
scores.
the Saints won. Because then the Bears, you're thinking first and second overall pick,
You're funny. And
Oh my gosh, Tanner.
We're good on NFL.
Let's get out of here.
That's good. All right, we're gonna go into legendary and shambles of this week. I'll start. You want to do legendary and shambles?
Let's
first?
do legendary.
Let's do
Legendary first. Legendary. Rays are getting a new stadium, 2028.
Really?
It's very good for the city of Tampa. I think the Rays stadium woes, yes, have been bad in the past. I think they're still just a little overrated now. The Trop is not in a great location. They're moving to a more kind of easy to get to location. I mean, the Rays attendance, they're only allowing 25,000 to close out the upper deck, which blows my mind because they're selling out or getting 22, 23. Trust me, I work parking there. I mean, it was really impressive. They did a great job marketing, great deals. I mean, it was 22, 23, 24, 25. And I mean, it helps when you're one of the best teams in baseball.
Sure.
But I'm just really happy for the Rays fans. They had that stupid Montreal thing, try to do half and half, but just really, it's my home team. Out of all my teams right now, I think I'd rather see the Rays win the World Series more than anyone.
We're happy for you.
I miss the Gators.
I can't wait.
That's home.
2028. I'll come down there and check out the new Trop.
Shout out Josh Lowe.
What are they gonna call it?
I don't even know. It better still be Tropicana Field.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh Lowe because he's a dog.
Yeah, he threw each of us a ball.
He didn't answer my DM, but it's fine.
He can say whatever. He's hitting over 400 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my legendary moment. Happy for the people of the Tampa Bay area.
My legendary moment is Micah Parsons. I think he's easily the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, he just looks different. We've talked about it a bunch. He's one of those people who look different.
Does he look bigger? I mean, he just
Bigger and
looks
faster.
huge.
When he got that sack and he started crawling on the ground,
I'm like,
it was
oh my gosh!
awesome.
Imagine and poor Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Like poor Zach Wilson. That poor guy had no chance going against Michael Parsons, and he's just a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a forced fumble.
He's gonna get paid. So.
Forced fumble. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to know the contract. But yeah, that's Michael Parsons. I mean, I don't even have to say much. He's right now a leader for Defensive Player of the Year, and he's just hooping right now for Dallas. So.
My legendary moment: Harrison Mevis, 61-yard game winner to beat Kansas State.
It's huge.
Missouri rushes the field. Luther Burden is just talking his talk to Kansas State as they leave the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that video.
I did see the clip.
Probably not going to put it in because it's a little bit explicit. But 61-yard game winner in college football. That's pretty wild. So legendary moment. Do you want me to give my shambles?
You go shambles.
This one we will be putting the clip in. It goes out to Nick Saban and his Alabama quarterback room.
Did you see
the clip of Nick Saban walking after the game? I mean, that just looks like a man who is so stressed out, so bummed. I don't feel bad for him, but you can tell Nick Saban's not happy. He's not loving life right now because he has such a bad quarterback room.
He's 71, man.
Yeah.
Could we?
And shambles.
I don't want to say it. I love me some Nick Saban, but who knows? Maybe on the way.
He's
out.
in shambles. He is his
right
quarterback.
now he's in shambles.
The Alabama quarterback
Perfect way to
situation is in
describe it.
shambles.
James, what do you got?
So
actually, I know what James has.
I have two written down, and I'm going to say them both. And Tanner, when I say the second one, I mean all love. Okay, it's just how the tables have turned. Okay.
Yeah.
First one is Michigan State football. We don't have to go too much into it, but they're too good, too well recognized as a school to be bad at football.
I mean, 2 years ago they were in the Peach Bowl.
That's what I mean. So they're too big of a school, right? Like Michigan State should always have a serviceable football team, and they don't have it this year. But we'll go to the second one. In shambles is Tanner Sterrett, and
his teams went over.
It's just because of his teams, right? But you looked. I came into the apartment last night, and he just looked so defeated.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I can't win.
Yeah.
And I'm with you for most of it, right? We're both Cubs fans. We're both Bears fans. You're a Boilermaker. I'm not. So you suffered one more loss than I did. But I do feel for you, right? We're going to bounce back.
Hopefully.
Cubs are going to get a dub tomorrow.
Can't get much worse than
right?
this.
But in terms of what happened this weekend.
You legitimately can't get worse than this.
What happened this weekend, you're just in shambles.
I am 0-7 in my last 7 games.
Right. So it's all love, right?
Oh,
It's
first
all
of all,
love.
legendary should be the Syracuse fake handoff that they had. Man,
That was
Syracuse's quarterback ran for 195 yards.
No big deal.
Roll Boilermakers, man.
No big deal.
Yeah, Fred makes Fresno State look like
Pete,
national
right? That's his
champions.
name? Pete? The mascot?
Pete, yeah.
Produce Pete?
He's always got a smile on his face, but man, he really shouldn't.
I love it when the Bears lose, man. I love it. I texted in our group chat the Bears lose and no one responded.
Well, yeah, he says the Bears lost.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Mine in shambles has to be Tennessee football. That fight that they tried to do after the game. Josh Heupel, why are you calling a timeout when you're down? Right? It doesn't make sense to me. I guess he wanted to fight. I mean, they got to hand it to them, man. Yeah, Florida was ready to score. Maybe we should put a picture of it.
Oh,
they were ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's legendary in shambles week, whatever week this is, 4 or 5.
We're cruising.
Yeah. But yeah, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. We're growing like crazy. Please, keep doing what you're doing, showing love on the reels, whether it's the hate comments that some are actually really funny.
We love
or the positive comments. Really, we appreciate all the nice words, any comment, anything. Just shout out to everyone that has kind of joined us on our journey.
Yes, sir.
New episode Friday?
Yeah, we'll be back on Friday to give our predictions and.
We need to do better this week on college football.
We went 5-5. I thought we did so much worse.
It did feel a lot worse, and we knew while we were predicting it could have been a rough.
But whatever. 9-1 the week before.
Some tough matchups.
We had some time to mess around there. Anyway, we'll wrap it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.